Greetings, dear ones. I join you this day with your game well in progress. We join you this day intentionally to share with you about a wave of energy. It's actually more than one wave, but you have so many energetics coming in from so many different parts of the universe. We find it fascinating that recently you have discovered in the star nearest you another Earth-like planet, right in the Goldilocks zone, perfect for supporting life and almost about the same size as your Earth. Fascinating, because these people watching, looking in the night sky for all of this information, are actually looking for a new place for humans to go. And you will. Trust us. At some point you will also actually go to Mars, for that is one of the new pieces. And what we tell you is, you will find your own footsteps. In some way, you have been there before. Mars used to have life, thriving life. In fact, you were there. Oh, that's why we find it so fascinating when you come up with these ideas of Martians with the two little things coming out of the head and so forth, and always green for some reason. We find it wonderful. Dear ones, you have the energetics that have been going on planet Earth, have been on the edge for quite some time now, many months, and especially during this year that you are in currently. It has been somewhat of a challenge because it resets a lot of energies. And that is exactly what this is. As you move to higher vibrations, all of those things that you have set up for yourself, whether it be a system, a belief system, all the other things that you have done, whether it be a family, whether it be relationships, all of them have to withstand the scrutiny of a higher vibration. Now, why is that? Well, because when you change your perspective, you change your vision. It's very simple. You want to see something from here, take a look at it from here, but at the moment you move over here, you have a different perspective. And that is what is basically taking place for all of you now, to see from multiple perspectives of your own life. And that is what's happening. Now, you've had so many waves of energy coming in that quite honestly you're learning as humans to swim in these energetics, to move from these different levels very rapidly. The frustration that is experienced by many on planet Earth, and actually trying to be harnessed by a few, that frustration level comes from not being able to see your own creations, not being able to have an effect on the world, to be a conscious creator who sometimes cannot create. That will create a great deal of internal frustration, which will eventually work its way to the outside in some fashion. But what is this? What is taking place? Well, let us explain one piece. When you have a wave of energy coming in, let's just call it a wave of light. And on that wave, you also have basically its direction. We'll simply say it goes from one direction to the other direction. Now, if you have another wave of energy coming in from a different direction entirely, they can do different things. And what happens is it affects and changes the harmonics of the wave. Now, don't get overly concerned if you're not following all of this, but let us explain that toward the end of September of this year, there is a wave coming in that will join up with another wave very quickly. The wave that is coming in is actually coming in from a quasar, a total collapse of a star, and the explosion of it just before that did that. That energy goes out into the universe and sometimes travels eons of time before landing upon its intended target. Earth is the intended target in this one. And that energy, as it comes out, will be combining with this other energy to move a very quick evolution of humanity. Now, normally you would think this is wonderful. We're evolving to the next stage of our evolution and we don't have to take much time to do it. That is excellent. But it also means that all those things that you set up with all those perfect imperfections, now suddenly you can see the imperfections of everything that you've set up. And because of the rapid movement and the rapid escalation, some of those systems will have challenges. And one of those systems that we spoke about is the economic systems of your globe. Now, there are many places where this can actually cause challenges, and we tell you that the United States has been teetering on the edge for quite some time. It very well might start there. We'll see. But the other part about it is you don't have to go through any of this difficulty. And that's what we'd like you all to hold in your hearts as you go through this wave. The wave comes in the first time on September 27th. It is a new wave of energy which comes in and combines with another wave to bring the capabilities to evolve very quickly and to move into another level. You've done this before, and you're just getting past some of the ripples of that effect because humans simply did not know how to jump that quickly, how to move that fast into a whole new set of understandings. But you will. And you've actually done quite well with this already. When we look at the timeline, dear ones, we can tell you you have already been wildly successful at this. But now we must put you back in the now moment and tell you that you still have it in front of you. But we know the outcome. So let us tell you that we are incredibly proud of the work that you are about to do, because you will ground a lot of light. And many of you are here on this planet to be here at exactly these moments. Now let us speak of what typically happens to humans as they jump up very quickly and have to adjust everything that was supporting them underneath them. What has taken place in the past, dear ones, is that you've all moved very quickly and very rapidly. You've even adjusted many of your laws and other collective agreements on your planet that reflect this. And what took place is there's always a backlash. Of course there's a backlash. Everything is in waves. And as long as it moves forward and then backlash and then moves forward again, you still continue to make headway. You still continue to evolve all of humanity in that way. So do not get discouraged at the backlashes that will come. Toward the end of September of this year, this will begin. It will start and carry you throughout the entire year and basically will put you into a level space around January 17th. That connection and that energy of next year will open the doors for a lot of what is to come. A lot of the planning stages that have been done by many of you, a lot of the connections, a lot of the hopes and dreams that were carried by many of you as you came in and left your wings at home and pretended to be a human for this incarnation. You're doing well, dear ones. Your lives are greater than you understand. We tell you that many of you have had huge separation anxiety from leaving home to come play this game of pretending to be a human. You opened your eyes in a physical form and you looked for home and were not able to find it. But you weren't going to find it. You were going to create it. And that is closer than you know. The wave of energy which is coming in, which will last for several months, is coming in by contract. And that is unusual. Every human has the opportunity to jump to new levels. Now we also tell you, dear ones, that there is a bandwidth of your vibration. If you were to call this your highest vibrational level existing in humanity, and this your lowest vibrational level, this would be the bandwidth. And the bandwidth not only moves very rapidly in evolutions of this kind, but also tends to elongate a little bit. The higher vibrations get a little bit deeper, a little bit further apart than the deep vibrations of the low. And that is of great concern. That is something that we watch here. Because as you start to separate yourselves, already separated on planet Earth, it becomes challenging. And that is where many of these restrictions and many of this frustrations and this general anger, which is on planet Earth right now, this dis-ease which is there for many people, is because of that fact that you don't always have that connection to be able to connect and create. So we tell you, prepare for this. Get ready to use your dreams. Connect with your own connections, your own channelings, your own spirit, and start bringing this together. Why are you here? What did you come to do? Where are your passions? What is the puzzle piece that you brought? Most of you have a very good idea of what this already is, and many of you are well on the path of claiming your magnificence on this game of free choice. But the magic is already set into motion. It's already there. So we ask you to step forward, put yourself into it, and carry this light. You can fear or you can love, but you can't do both at the same time. So how much love can you bring to this planet? How much can you find the beauty that's all around you? How much can you share it with those around you? That will be paramount in the times ahead. For humanity has been hoping to raise its level of vibration for quite some time. And although you've been on a slow, steady increase, it was very slow. Now it's jumping very quickly, almost as if it's on an exponential track. And it is perfect for what you have in mind. Now, most humans do not like to move at these rapid paces. It creates ripples all around you, which you must deal with. It affects other people all around you, which you must deal with. Start working with it now. Start opening those possibilities with your friends, your family. What would happen if something really big took place? How could we be part of the solution instead of part of the problem? Will you go into fear if suddenly something collapses, something doesn't work right, something suddenly makes you go without? Or will you simply look forward and say, this is part of the most incredible change that's taking place to all of humanity, and step into it? There are more opportunities than there are doors closing. We promise you that. Almost 2 to 1. Enjoy this journey. And as you start moving through it, you'll start to see that you have a place. And if you haven't found that space before, it will start to be known to you now. Because as you move into these higher vibrations, your perception changes. You can see on a much wider scale, much larger aspect. And in that, you will understand that you hold part of the key. By grounding that light, holding that love, working in that way, you start to change the world one heart at a time. The best way that they can be. Dear ones, we applaud you on your game, your changes, all the evolutions that have gone before, and those that are just starting right now. The connections are great. Your energy is here right now. And we love you more than you know. It is with the greatest of honor that we ask you to treat each other with respect. Nurture one another at every opportunity. Know that you are looking yourself in the eyes and play well together, dear ones. Aspava.